Welcome back. In this video, we would like to take you behind the scenes of our interface testing tool and tell you more about the configuration process. You will learn how to make IFTT emulate the third-party system, send the messages to the PIPO, and validate the incoming document confirming or denying its faithfulness to the original. What's important, assertions are defined at the configuration stage for all of the future test cases. There is no need to create assertion rules for each test case independently. IFTT configuration is set separately for each SAP PIPO interface that we intend to test. This is done only once, making the test case creation quick and effortless. The whole process differs depending on the interface type: inbound asynchronous, outbound asynchronous, or inbound synchronous where one message is sent and another received. Nevertheless, some of the steps are the same. In this video, we are going to discuss the case of an inbound synchronous interface. We will continue to base on our webshop sales order interface example. At first, we need to define the object's name. Next, we have to choose the PIPO service interface name and namespace. We copy those from the ICO of the individual interface that we configure. Afterwards, we need to define variables and using XPath expressions point at the source values that they will be filled with when processing both the original and the new messages. As you can see, in the IFTT we can declare up to 4 different variables holding the values required to identify the document sent through the interface. In other words, the set of variables is the document's key. Accordingly, the unique key for the sales order document is the sales order number, while for the accounting document, those would be the document number, year, and the company code. This key is used to search the database for the final document, and it is also used to link different interfaces while testing complete business processes. Now, for the sales order, we enter the XPath name 1. While configuring a new object, we might want to receive additional debugging info during the first test case execution. In order to achieve this, we need to mark debug info as active. After completing this stage, we move on to defining assertions. During the test case execution, the system conducts automatic assertions. From the technical point of view, the validation is performed through the comparison of the selected database tables and table fields of both documents, the original and the new one created during the test case execution. In order to achieve this, we create a business documents database model representation and choose the tables, relations and fields we want to be compared. Apart from the table, we also need to define how a particular document should be found based on the link to the interface message. This means that the value will be inserted into the variable using the XPath expression number 1, which has been configured in the previous screen. Then it will replace the value of the BSTNK field which holds the purchase order number. On this basis, a relevant header with the original sales order, the one used to create the test case, will be identified. Setting the variable type as generate negative reference triggers the change of the value from the XML used to create the test case, available under the XPath expression number 1, to newly generated negative number. This negative number is saved and will be used while validating the new sales order. It will replace the value of the BSTNK field from the VBAC table, allowing identification of the freshly created sales order's header. We have got the headers of both the original and the new sales order documents. Now we need to link them with sales order items. Here we define the connection between the header and the items. They are linked by the same sales order number. It is possible thanks to the ref-type database reference and indication of the VBELN field from the results of the previous query. At this stage, our model of database tables relations making up the tested business object is complete. The remaining tasks are to define the database fields to be compared and to set up the rules for those fields. Here we insert field names that we want to display and compare between the original and the newly created document. The display order is defined by the number in the line column. Rule column defines rules to go by when differences are found. Not available means that this field is not being compared. The rule should be used specifically for document numbers. error states that the test case fails if values in two of the compared documents differ. This is a special feature for multiple item documents. You should apply it specifically for fields containing item numbers. This way, during the test case execution, IFTT will be able to find out if, for example, the first item of the document is missing and compare the remaining items. There are two different types of warnings. The first one allows different values but will raise error in case the value is nowhere to be found in the second document. The second type of warning allows differences and empty values. Warnings are used specifically for fields that are dynamically evaluated by SAP. For example, if the material price will be changed in the future, the test case will not fail if we have set the order amount as a warning. The next field is a short description, used for adding some notes. I have already prepared a set of fields from the sales order header that I am interested in, and I will just copy them straight from the notepad. The same should be done with the second table that displays the sales order items. Great! We have successfully completed defining the whole interface. As you have seen, the whole procedure is pretty simple and straightforward, and what is most important, it needs to be carried out only once. After it's done, we can create as many test cases as we want for this particular interface by only passing the numbers of documents. Thanks to the information kept in the configuration tables, the rest is done automatically, including the assertions. Furthermore, we don't need to wonder what should be checked for every single test case. Each time the whole document will be completely analyzed. It is a common case that we have multiple interfaces creating the same business document. Fortunately, if it is so, we don't need to define the tables, relations and fields all over again. We can use the already existing model instead. To do so, we introduce a new interface and rather than moving to the object details, we pass the name of the configuration object from which we want to inherit. This makes the whole configuration even faster and more user-friendly. Thank you for watching this video. For more tutorials, visit int4.com.